Hi, welcome to the channel. Before psychedelic rock was a genre, before acid became a design aesthetic, there was a band in Texas, here in Austin, that made music that sounded like a brain trying to escape its skull. This is the psychedelic sounds of the 13th floor elevators. And whether you've heard of them or not, your favorite band certainly has heard of them. Let's talk about it. Today, we're diving into one of the most influential, raw, and brain-melting debut albums of the 1960s. The Psychedelic Sounds of the 13th Floor Elevators was released in 1966, and this wasn't just another garage rock record. It was a manifesto. It even said so right on the back cover. The 13th floor elevators were born in Texas, not the first place you'd expect a psychedelic revolution to take place. The band formed in 1965, and the core members were Roky Erickson, the singer, and also a teenage guitar prodigy from Austin who had already made some notoriety with his previous band, the Spades. Tommy Hall, the electric jug player, was a self-styled psychedelic philosopher who didn't play guitar, drums, or keyboards, but instead played an amplified jug. That to me, it always sounded like a helicopter's rotor blades. Stacy Sutherland was the lead guitarist. He was from Kerrville. He was a Kervert, as Austin people say. He was known for his moody, dark presence and echo-drenched leads. The initial bass player was Benny Thurman, but he was replaced fairly quickly by Ronnie Leatherman, who plays on this album. And another Kervert from Kerrville, John Ike Walton, is on the drums. Their mission was to blow your mind, and also maybe their own. The psychedelic sounds of the 13th floor elevators opens with You're Gonna Miss Me, a song that Roky brought from his previous band, the Spades. You're Gonna Miss Me is a 2-minute garage rock bomb with Roky's wild sounding screams and that trademark jug blooping along like it's bouncing through the astral plane. It cracked the Billboard charts, barely, but it lit the fuse. Let's do a quick tour. Roller Coaster is supposed to be about a highway or avenue in Austin. It's a drive through the hill country in far west Austin. I used to have to take that to work when I worked at a mortgage company out there. And it indeed was like riding a roller coaster, just swooping up and down. Well, the song Roller Coaster is 6 minutes of sonic paranoia. Splash One, Now I'm Home, is a slow, echoey love song. Reverberation has a lot of distorted guitar and lyrical dread. It's one of my favorite Elevators tunes. Don't Fall Down could be about a moment of clarity or resignation. You choose. Fire Engine is a manifestation of pure id for all you psychology fans out there. I mean, cue the siren, literally. Through the Rhythm and You Don't Know are short and punchy garage rock tracks. Kingdom of Heaven is the slowest and spaciest track on the album. Monkey Island is dark and swampy. Tried to Hide is a proto-punk outburst. This song also includes vocals by Clementine Hall, who was married to Tommy Hall at the time. She and Roky were very close, and so she helped him write the lyrics to this song, and they both sang it together. The Elevators didn't just predate psychedelic rock. they came up with the name for it. The word psychedelic had never appeared on an album cover before this album. Without the Elevators, we might not have gotten The Doors, Love, Primal Scream, or even punk rock as we know it. But their trip was short. Between drug busts, mental health struggles, most notably for Roky, and trying to be a visionary band in mid-1960s Texas, the Elevators burned out fast. Roky would spend time in psychiatric hospitals. He got busted for possessing one marijuana joint, just one, and he pleaded insanity rather than endure a long prison stretch, which was what the law was like in Texas back then, even for small drug offenses. He spent a very long time institutionalized, and whatever mental health struggles he had before all this, the mental hospitals greatly magnified them, and it was unnecessary. Tommy Hall vanished into obscurity. He lives in downtown San Francisco now and has nothing whatsoever to do with the music business. Stacy Sutherland ended up getting murdered by his wife after a domestic dispute in Houston in 1978. Very sad. He was a fantastic guitarist. I believe John Ike Walton is the only Elevator standing. He still lives out in Kerrville and still plays music. Here's a personal note. I used to work in a building on the University of Texas at Austin campus. The building was called the Littlefield Carriage House, and it was next to the Littlefield Mansion. George Littlefield was the main benefactor of the University of Texas back in the 1800s. There's a United Methodist Church on the drag, what we call the stretch of Guadalupe that passes by the front of campus. And they had a student center. And in that building in 1966 or 1965, the Elevators played a gig with Janis Joplin, who had been in San Francisco for a couple of years, but got into drugs and had come back home to Texas to try and get better. Janis Joplin and the 13th Floor Elevators. They played a gig together in that building, and the Elevators asked Janis to join the band, but she didn't. And I cannot imagine what that would have sounded like. That would have been amazing. They all ultimately went different directions. Janis went off back to San Francisco and became a legend. The Elevators broke up and became a myth, and this album is proof. So that's the debut album from the 13th Floor Elevators, the Psychedelic Sounds of the 13th Floor Elevators. If you are a psychedelic rock fan, you will love this album. It just winds its way into your head. If you dug this deep dive into the strange world of the 13th Floor Elevators, please give it a thumbs up. Drop a comment with your favorite track, or just tell me what you think that jug sounds like. And don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives, forgotten legends, and vinyl-shaped brain fuel. Until next time, keep it weird, and maybe go up to the 13th floor and see how the world looks. I'll see you in the next one.